Hello and welcome to the Vallin. I am Knight Vallin, your host, and we are playing Kerbal Space Program on sort of a hardcore setting. We have gathered some funds, we've gathered some science, we did a bunch of like little teeny tiny missions. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying very much attention. The new update, well, I can't say new update, but the update, it's new for me. I did not realize that when you decline or click the X button, it actually gives you negative reputation. Which is unfortunate, because right now we are sitting at negative, I believe, 10 or 11 reputation. But it doesn't matter. We got 244.2 science. We have 333,367. Whatever. Monies. We like monies. So let us buy some science. Well, we are definitely going to want to go further than we have before with the regular tech. So we're going to get this stuff here. Research that. Goody goody gumdrops. We are going to want struts. So let us research struts. We are also going to want basic science. So that way we can get the thermometer and the probodyne Staputnik. Staputnik's not that great, but it will help with some early stuff, and it will help prevent Kerbal deaths. We do not want Kerbal deaths, so we will use the probodyne for experimental crafts and the like, and hope that we can recover stuff. Now, we are stuck at 134 science, so we're going to get electrics. That way we can then get the photovoltaic panels. Those will be important. And it'll also unlock the next probodyne, the AKTO, which I like because at least it has a reaction wheel. And SAS. Unlike the probodyne, the Staputnik does not. So we're going to research that. Let's see, that leaves us with 44 more science. If we had a little more science, we could probably get this, but I don't think we need that just yet. Let's get a stability in there. So this way we can get the radial decoupler and some other basic stuff. These will be important. This, not so much. Alright, so that leaves us with 26 science. We are all scienced out for now. Let us see what we can build and what missions we have available. So we have Escape Atmosphere. This will be obviously our next one on the agenda. We have yet to escape the atmosphere, and we know there's plenty of science to be had still. Unfortunately, nothing nearby. I science scummed the crap out of this. So let us go into our VAB and assemble ourselves a probe. So we're going to take the probodyne OKTO, and with that we are going to want to throw some science stuffs on there, so we'll stick a science junior on there. We're going to also stick a thermometer. We'll stick it someplace we can find it. We'll stick it right there. That works. That looks like a good spot for a thermometer. We are going to also try to recover this probe. So let us just stick with that for now, and instead let's go to utility. We're going to want to throw a parachute up on top of there, and 2 parachutes on the side. So we'll press the X button. There we go. We have 2 parachutes. We're starting off really good. This looks nice. Now, we are definitely going to want battery pack. And we could put 2 of those for 0.01 tons, or we could just put one of those. So let's put us one of these. We're going to drop this down. We're going to pop this under there, and this up like that. Now the problem with using batteries on lifting parts is batteries don't really have that much tolerance. So occasionally the physics rips them to shreds, which we don't want. Next thing we're going to need some photovoltaic panels, and we're going to want 4 of them bad boys, and we are going to stick them right like so. So at least now we will be able to generate power while we are up and about. Let us get a structure. We'll get a stack decoupler in here. And there is our landing stage. Hopefully we can return this safely home for science, because we are not going to bother sticking anything else on there. Let's see, how much the struts cost? And where is it? 42. We can put some struts on there. We can spend the money. So let us only put 2 struts on there. We're going to put it from here up to there, like so. This way, if any external forces happen to hit, our batteries should remain relatively safe. So since we are only going to a suborbital trajectory, and we have all the means to do so, we are going to stick ourselves a thumper on the bottom of this bad boy, and we are going to lower our thumper down to about 70. There we go. Thrust limit. Yes. And then we're going to go back to structure. We'll take those radial decouplers we just unlocked. We want 2 of those bad boys. And we want to line them up pretty good. So we're going to line them up right about there. And then back to engines. Grab ourselves a pair of hammers. And line them up like so. Hopefully they should be perfectly aligned. They are. Pretty good. Pretty good so far. Now let's see if we can lower this to match our height. We don't want them too high, we don't want them too low, we want them to be relatively matched. Otherwise it'll unbalance everything. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. So let us reduce this down to about 66. I said 60, that's 67, 66.5. A little more. No, it's 64 point. Nope. Oh, we had it. Oh, we had it. Oh, got back. Ah. There we go. So 66 on those 2. We are going to take our parachutes, and we're going to bring this down to about 500, and you down to 500 as well. This way it'll have a shorter voyage down to the ground instead of being like, oh my god, it's taking forever. Now, the parachutes deploy based on radial or radar telemetry rather than the standard altitude limit sets. So that is very useful because that means when we are 500 meters above the ground, they will deploy. So we're going to grab these 2, we're going to throw them up there so that way the thruster kicks off just before they detach, and we'll leave this detachment separate. And we are good to go to space. Sort of. It'll be a temporary thing. So let us name our first thing. We're going to name this the, let's see, Proto 1, and save. So we now have the Proto 1. We can go out into space and explore, and eventually we might upgrade the Proto 1 to be the Proto 2. Well, it all depends on what we can get out of this. So now, we're doing this to save Kerbal lives, ladies and gentlemen. Spending a little extra cash, and hopefully we can upgrade our stuff. Now, we do not have any means of recouping if this fails. So, fingers crossed. We do have a lot of funds now, which is good. Not a terrible lot. We don't want RCS. We want SAS. All right, ready. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. We have ignition. We have liftoff. We are a go. All systems green. Now, hopefully, we don't tip over while we're flying. Because if we tip over, we're going to have to use all of our available rotary controls to kind of try to pitch ourselves back. We are starting to pitch now. Oh, and it is sluggish to respond. We may have... There we go. Oh, just a little more. Just a little more. Bring our telemetry back. There we go. Alright. Oh, geez. I guess we have too much boost on our boosters. Oh, just don't do it. Just bring her back. We might not be going to orbit today, ladies and gentlemen. This might be a failed mission. We will have... Oh. Scary, scary stuff. There is nothing I can do. Abort! 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 Roll off! Roll off! Oh god. I did not mean to rip out our parachutes. But that's okay, because we can observe the material data from here. Hopefully we can get some science out of that, and we can log temperature data, and we will keep both of those. Well, on the bright side, we get to test our landing. We obviously know this is going to work. It's not as heavy as a capsule, and we already know it'll keep the capsule nice and steady. Unfortunately, we lost the funds for our SRBs. Ooh, and they're making contact over there. Don't blow stuff up, guys. Blowing stuff up is expensive. Alright, so we were 500 meters above the ground. And now we're just gently floating back. So we're going to have to tweak our design a little bit. It's a good thing we used a probe instead of a Kerbal. Could you imagine the terror a Kerbal would go through? Poor Bill and Bob. Jeb would love it. Valentina would probably love it as well, but Bill and Bob, who I generally send on these kinds of suicide missions, would be like crapping their pants. Well, I don't send Bill too much. I think I send Bob, whoever our scientist is. All right, and we are touched down. Let us get rid of our thingy. Let us check our probe. We are definitely safe and ready to recover. We'll pull some science out of this, hopefully. And yes, we are now at, we gained 35 science from that. Only 9, well actually no, we only gained 9.4 science. Which is fine with me. We gained a little bit of our money back. Somehow we gained more money. Did we? That does not seem right. Did we gain more money? Yeah, we gained more money. I wonder how that happened. Alright, so that is not what I want. We are still trying to achieve our goal of breaking Atmo. So let us make a modification that should aid our vessel significantly. Let us zoom in here. So in the future, I hope to speed up some of these builds and whatnot, because some of the future builds that I have planned will probably take some time to perfect and so on and so forth. So we'll probably speed up a lot of the things in the future, including repetitive space launches and so on and so forth. I do a lot of rocket stuff. I am not very good at the SSTO game just yet. I have built a micro SSTO at one point, but it was only good enough to get me to the moon and back, and I couldn't even land on the moon. I just had barely enough fuel. It was kind of a disappointment. Alright, so now that we have those wings on there for stability, let us hold shift while we do the rotation here, and slightly rotate them outward. This will help give us a little bit more stability while we rotate around like crazy madmen. So probe point 1.001. There we go, and we will save that. And we will go into the test phasing again. Once we get this down, we can build an actual Kerbal knot, though I would not use this setup for a Kerbal. The rotational speeds that this thing's going to get is probably going to be pretty insane. We're going to turn on SAS, which is probably a bad idea, because that's going to be trying to fight the roll that we're going to be trying to generate. But once we get enough force, it won't matter. The slight spin is already overtaken our RCS, or SAS. So I'm just going to turn that off and save fuel. And hope that we stay on course while we go up into the upper atmospheres. If this manages to survive better than the last time, it's starting to get a slight tilt already, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to let it do its thing. And staging in 3, 2, 1, stage. Alright, well, I guess we're not going to gain control over this anytime soon. We're just going to let her rotate. We are on our way happily to upper atmospheres. Hopefully to we are faring a lot better. We are not flipping over haphazardly. topsy-turvy. We didn't have to change up our thruster limits, which is good. Turn on the SAS and see if we can get some stability into this bad boy. Come on, you can do it. We're still reaching too many atmospheres to really gain much control. We just want to tilt over slightly so we can get a better... Oh, come on, you can do it. Wind resistance should be cutting down. Oh, we didn't make it. We did not make it. So I'm going to turn that back off. Actually, let us see if we can time accelerate a little bit. There we go. That way we can stop our spin. We'll kick ourselves off a little bit more. Goodbye. You were an awesome launcher. And here we are up in space. This is beautiful. Alright, let us time warp a little bit. Let's check the apoapsis is at 4. That's cool. Let us kill our time acceleration, come back. Science time! Science, hello! Lovely science. We would like to observe our material studies, and we would also like to log our temperature. Ooh, measuring the temperature of space appears to be quite impossible, as there's no matter around to be either hot or cold, except the spacecraft and the thermometer itself. This is probably going to give the R&D guys something to think about for a while. Fun fact, there is plenty of matter out in the vacuum of space. The space itself isn't exactly a perfect vacuum. Space particles all over the place, whether they be large or small, they still count as the matter spectrum. Alright, higher radiation environment causes a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it will be fun to paint the rocket with this. Oh, I wouldn't advise it. That is 37.5 science to recover. That is a nice chunk of science. Alright, let's go back to our map view here. We don't have the science yet, or the research, or rather the building upgrades necessary to really get an appreciation of this. So we are going back. I said, boy, we're going back to Kerbin. Alright, let us switch view again. Oh, we are not going to survive. Well, that is failure number 2. Probe number 2 down. We are out of funds for that. Let us return to the vehicle assembly building. Time for trial number 2. 3, actually, but whatever. So we're going to set that to a 2. And let's see. How can we fix this? I know how we can fix this. Since we were getting insane speeds, we can fix this by putting a secondary flea solid booster right here. And we can put another stack decoupler there. And we can put this there. And we should still have enough, or at least plenty, of thrust. We're going to add yet another one of these and throw that up there. So our staging looks like such. Oh, the probe, proto-probe 1.002. Let us hope that this will be our final iteration. I should have went through beta test or alpha testing first, and then beta testing, and then the finished release. But whatever. I love my flag, by the way, the little Night Space Association. Yay! All right, so we have our thing. Are we happy with this? We're not exactly happy with this. Mainly because this is so high. So let us bring this down to about 22.5. Sounds good. We have so much rocket fuel because this will be our upper stage. We'll wait until we get to about apoapsis and then set this bad boy off. And this time, I have a good feeling. This time I have a good feeling. I should have double checked the bit of the math, but who does math? Alright, initiating countdown for the 3rd launch trial. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Launch. Oh, Houston, we have a problem. Initiating abort. Initiating abort. Help me. Help me, Tom Cruise, help me. Oh gosh. Point up. Point up. Point. Not down, up. Stop flipping. Oh gosh. Well. Can't fail more spectacularly than that. Well, our first issue with this launch was the fact that we did not. We can recover parts. Wow. First issue we have is I forgot to set up this. This should be... That is separate. Oh, there we go. So this one is for the upper stage, which should be above this guy. And then we're going to need another stage. Okay, so that's those two. This guy needs to be in this stage. So our staging was a bit wonky. I don't know if that requires a new prototype model number, but we will issue one anyway. And we will save that. I don't think we saved the 002, but it's okay. The 03 is ready for... Let's double check. Okay, so we have our parachutes, we have our top separator, we have our final ignition, we have our second separator, our first separator set. Everything looks go. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure in the future you do flight checks. Prep checks are always beneficial. Now, well, despite the fact that that last flight was a bit of a failure, we do at least have some interesting data from that. And that interesting data was we can lift off. No countdown, none necessary. Let us just get our rotational speed at a going and get up and get her done. On the bright side, I guess we've... Oh, well, we broke atmosphere. I don't know. We're just looking for science now, I guess. Oh, if I had only been paying attention and been more wise. But I want to see this mission succeed properly. Doing anything half-assed is not a good thing. And we were totally half-assed. Woo! Yeah, look at that rotational speed just picking up. Man, if you were Kerbal in here, you would have to have some kind of centrifugal force training like no tomorrow. Oh, geez. And the G's aren't picking up too bad. We're still in the green. Please, flight. Please, flight. Work, work, work. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about everything and nothing? Actually, you know, now that I think about it, I think it's nothing and everything all at once. Well, there's something way out there. Alright, we are about to burn Atmo. Hopefully, this is a good sign that we are nearing the end of our voyage. And hopefully... Let us check. Ooh. So that did reduce our apoapsis quite a bit, just adding that extra weight. That is something I should double check in the future. Math is important. Though, that is a much friendlier curve. It's not the kind of curve we're looking for a re-entry. So let us bring up this. Let us time accelerate up to apoapsis. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this works. Alright, so first thing we want to do is collect our science before we forget. Observe material studies. We're going to keep that. Observe our temperatures. Keep that. Let's go back to here. Let's see. We want to let's put ourselves on the 90. If we can find the 90. Now, the 90 is a bit ways off from the angle we are at, but we have plenty of fuel to try to make this work, I think. Actually, let's not put ourselves on the 90. Let us figure out where our, not retrograde, our prograde is. Where is our prograde? There's a no, is that prograde? That's retrograde, I think. So, prograde should be on the other side. Yeah, that looks about right. Prograde is pacing down at the moment because we are past our apoapsis. Our apoapsis, once again, is the highest point of our orbit, and periapsis is the lowest point of our orbit. So let us press this and press... Oh, right. I need to initiate burn. And there we go. We are going to land safely in the water. Look at that nice gentle curve rising. We don't want to pay attention to this. We want to pay attention to this. Oh yeah, that's nice. And we are still burning hot. Let us raise this a little bit. It's actually lowering, but whatever. Just want a nice even burn. And now we are dead. We can release this. And we can turn off our SAS. We are free floating, ladies and gentlemen, so let us enjoy the voyage down. Speeding up, time warp. And entering Atmo. We are not going to kick on the parachutes, obviously, because that would be a bad idea. And unfortunately, I think we probably need a heat shield for this, because it just dawned on me. Things might explode. Let's close the doors on the material study bay. I like the fact that you can do that now. Yep, we are building some heat, which is not a good sign. Let's see if rotation can fix that. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. Oh yeah, we're gonna pop. Well, giggity. We must remember heat shields. Unfortunately, if we add any more weight to this, it is not going to fly very well. So we are going to have to do this the hard way. We're going to remove this. We are definitely going to have to throw that heat shield on there, which should be under aerodynamics. There it is. It's a good thing we have that. We're going to throw this back on there. We have our heat shield. We are going to need... let us throw 2 more of these on there. So X... And we want to lower ourselves down here so we can actually get a nice view. And if it's a little lower, that's fine. If it's a little higher, that's okay too. So these all should still be at the same lifting point. We'll get a little bit more bang for our buck, hopefully. And this is going to have to be our proto point 100. Alright, we're going to save that. And for our launch... Oh, really? Well, we're going to have to upgrade our launch pad. Fortunately, we keep gaining money. Every failed mission, we seem to like overcome some kind of obstacle, and for whatever reason, it's given us money. I don't know if that's a glitch with the game, or what's going on with that. Alright, so let us upgrade it. We can afford an upgrade. That is nice. And while we're at it, let us upgrade our tracking center. We can afford that. And I think that's all I want to I mean, I wish I had enough to upgrade this, but I don't. So we've upgraded our launch pad. Hopefully we should be able to launch our vehicle. Let us launch. Where do we just... Is that it? Is that... Do I just click? What do I... Oh, yeah, double click. Duh. let's double check that everything is set and go. Flight checks again. All systems are green. Chutes are ready. So for this one, I am just going to go and fast forward this. So I will see you on the end of... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave this video here. So I'm going to say peace out, guys. Hope you liked the video. And I'm going to leave you with the final flight. Hopefully it will be a success. Welcome to the end card. If you made it this far, why not check out another one of my videos? Have any suggestions or criticisms? Leave a comment below. For business or fandom related stuff, hit up my email. You can find it in the description. You can also follow me on Twitter or subscribe to keep up to date with new releases. Want a Kerbal named after you? Comment below with the hashtag Kerbal.